This is the Bontempi HF-201, and I'll be honest, it's a bit crap. But in my line of work, sometimes a bit crap is exactly the sound you're looking for, and I suspect that with the application of some effects, this won't sound all that crap at all. Before we get started, if you like what I do, you can let me know down in the comments below and by subscribing to the channel. And if you really like what I do, you can now buy me a coffee. You'll find links in the description and in cards. Okay, let's see what the Bontempi gives us to work with. So, to start off, we have flute. Then we have strings. And we have trumpet. These can be combined, and they can be played with vibrato. The lowest octave of the keyboard provides a really rubbish bass sound. And generates chords when used in conjunction with the rhythm section. The rhythm section is endearingly naff, but isn't super useful. It features 6 rhythms, including bossa, samba, and waltz. And for some reason has a tempo slider capable of reaching the speed of light. Oh, and here's what it sounds like with the auto chord. And that's it. That's all you get. It really is a pretty terrible little table hooter, I'll be honest. But I bought it after hearing the strings with the vibrato on. And if you're anything like me, you can probably already tell where I'm going with this. Okay, so the first thing I want to try is running it through a phaser. And for that, I'm going to use my Behringer VP1 vintage phaser. I really love this phaser. I'm fairly certain this is the same circuit that they've just put in their reproduction of the Xenyx string ensemble. Yeah, really, really lovely sounding phaser. Let's take a listen. That was pretty lovely, actually. But I think it could use a bit more heft, a bit more weight, so I'm going to put it through an octave pedal. This is the Tom's Line Octopus. I actually think I got this from Wish. But it is, so obviously it's inexpensive, but it's actually pretty good little octave pedal. It tracks surprisingly well, so I'm going to shove this before the phaser. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. But what I think is going to really help sell it is some splosh. In particular, some vintage splosh. So I'm thinking spring reverb. And so for that, let's head over to the modular. So here's our signal. I'm going to run it straight into a Q118 from synthesizers.com just to give it a bit of a boost. And I'm going to run straight from the amplifier into the Q115 reverb, also from synthesizers.com. This is a proper spring tank, and I'll take that to our output. And here we go. Okay, that was nice, if a little noisy, but I'm actually beginning to think that delay might work better than reverb. So, because we're chasing this vintage vibe, I want to head over to my reel-to-reel for some genuine tape echo. Now, normally when I interface with my reel-to-reel machine, I use my Behringer Xenyx 502 mixer. But today, I'm actually going to use my Behringer Xenyx 502 mixer. This is just the new version of this. Behringer very kindly sent this over for me to check out. I've loved this. I've had this for like probably 15 years. This is actually how I got started. Like my digital piano plugged into this, and then this plugged into the microphone input on my laptop, and that's how I got started making music. So this is really cool, and I don't even have to plug into the microphone input on a laptop anymore because this one's got the USB to use it as an audio interface. So yes, thank you very much to Behringer for sending this over. Let's get it hooked up to the reel-to-reel machine. Okay, yes, 100%. That's exactly the area that I'm wanting to be in. And because I've not said it yet in the video, the area I'm wanting to be in is string machine, although I'm sure you got that by now. When I say string machine, I'm talking things like the Selena String Ensemble, the Logan String Melody, the Freeman String Symphonizer, that kind of thing. I'm trying to get this piece of shit into that realm, and I think we're getting there. But for the next step, I want to talk about chorus or ensemble. A lot of these string synthesizers had a chorus or an ensemble to sort of fatten up and shimmer the sound a bit. Now, I don't actually have an analog chorus or a chorus pedal or a hardware chorus, so I'm going to jump into Logic and I'm going to put a chorus effect on, just one of Logic's chorus effects, nothing special, and that's going to be before the pedals and the delay. But also what I'm going to do whilst I'm in Logic is I'm going to pull up the auto filter just to give a bit of an attack, a slow attack to the beginning of the notes. Because of course this has no envelope, this is just on-off organ style. It's an organ. But hey, string synthesizers are practically just organs, right? So I'm going to add a little bit of filtering on here. Now, obviously, the filtering is going to be on the sound. So it's going to be like paraphonic, which means I'll play a chord, the filter will open, but then it will stay open. You know, when I play other chords, it's not going to re-trigger that filter. But hey, that's the way a lot of these string synths worked anyway, so I'm not really worrying about it. Now, of course, I can't add a release because the moment I take my keys away, my fingers away from the keys, there's no more information for the filter to be reading. But really, that's kind of what the delay is for. That's going to help give it a bit of a tail. But I honestly think that this might be the last layer. So I'm jumping into Logic and I'm going to apply some chorus and some filtering. Guys, I think we did it. We took a frankly rubbish home organ and turned it into a string synthesizer. Now, does it compare to something like the Waldorf Streichfett? Yeah, actually, I think it does. I love the Streichfett for more than just strings. This sits on my desk and I use it for lots and lots of things. But this, because it's a bit shit, is so characterful. It's so quirky. It's got a sound all of its own. It doesn't quite sound like a Selena or a Logan or what have you. It's the Bontempi string synth. And I kind of like that. Now, does it compare to something like Behringer's Selena or their VC330 or whatever it was called? I don't know. I never got the chance to get my hands on one. Yes, I've heard demos and stuff on YouTube, but it's just not the same as getting something under your fingers and finding out for yourself. I don't know. It's got its own thing. But the big difference is, of course, that this cost me 20 quid. That was it. 20 quid. From a friend, actually. I was going to say from Facebook Marketplace, but it was from a friend who got it on Facebook Marketplace. But 20 quid? Now, yes, if you were to go and buy one of these and buy the pedals and a tape machine and a spring reverb tank and all that shit, yes, it would be more expensive. But, you know, the pedals I have used aren't very expensive. I think that the octave pedal you can get for less than 30 quid. The phaser is like 15 quid, but you don't have to use those. You know, I did some stuff in Logic on this, and you could do exactly the same. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Oh, well, let's have a before and after. Pretty bloody happy with that, if I'm honest. Yeah. Well, that's the video. I've kind of run out of talking points. That's it. If you have enjoyed it, thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below and by subscribing to the channel. Like I said earlier in the video, you can now also buy me a coffee if you really like what I do. But thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Ta-ra!